Hi guys, welcome again to the fourth episode of Financial Awareness with Martha. This is very exciting. I hope you found benefit in all the 3 episodes that we've done. Please pick one thing and make it work for you. As I had said at the beginning, this is my labor of love because once you're able to be exposed to understand finance and investments in a good way, then even your preparation and your foundation towards financial independence becomes easy, because then you get to understand the concept, apply the disciplines, and as you become financially independent, you are ready. Yani ni kama una prepare your own foundation. And so today we're going to talk about compounding effect. And when people look at investments, a lot of us, are running towards attaining this thing, the compounding aspect of investment, which is sort of like an end result. And there are very many books that have been written around compounding. Very many investors or financial advisors talk about compounding in real estate specifically, and I'll talk about today real estate because this is the industry that I'm in. And so it's usually very exciting to focus on the result instead of focusing on the journey or on the path that gets you to this particular result. So therefore, if you're starting working, for example, you don't think of how to make money, you think of how you will use the money when you've made the money. So it's usually very easy to dream on the future. And when we're talking about financial independence, very many people want to see that end game, that I want this money to work for me, I want to recoup my amount, I want to make a lot of returns, I want to become financially independent eventually, I want to own. So everyone is focusing on what could be. However, if you do not put focus on what is now, then even there could be may not exist. And why am I saying this? Our model and our investors, for example, there's a lot of times where we celebrate very easily when an investor has finished paying and they've started earning rent, or an investor has started paying and so they're on the journey, and all those things. And how many times do you ask yourself, where is this money going to? And so when you're looking at the compounding effect, if you're not able to double your interests, then you will not get to let's say financial independence as fast as you desire. And so when you have started investing, it's a good reason to celebrate that you have set aside a certain amount, or you have set aside a certain percentage every month to go towards your investment. But that is not enough. That even as you start this journey, you're not starting this journey to say, I am doing this so that I am able to earn. No. Are you able to get to yourself to a position where you're saying, okay, this is what I'm desiring to earn, or this is what I am currently earning. How am I able to use this amount to take it back to my investment so that I'm able to multiply my income? And that balance is usually very tricky, because you can imagine if you're getting into an investment. Let me use real estate for example. If you're getting into real estate, you're looking at a return period of about 8, 9 to 15 years, depending on, it's a long-term game, right? And so it means that if you would like to buy an apartment every year, that gives you a return on investment. So every year you've given yourself a target to buy a unit every year that eventually gets you to the number of units that allow you to earn the target passive amount that will allow you to become financially independent. And so you can imagine if you're on that journey that you're saying, for the next 10 years, I would like to buy a unit a year. It means the level of sacrifice that you have had from the beginning will be the same. Because even as income comes in, see, maisha tu inaenda ikiwa expensive. So meaning whatever you are sacrificing in 2018, 2017, 2014, right now, if you are sacrificing back then 100,000, maybe right now you need to sacrifice a little bit more to match the current economic situation we're in. And so you can imagine that you're getting into an investment with a very clear mindset that I would want to own property worth X that will allow me to earn X. But every day is a new sacrifice. That you've done year 1, you finished paying for unit 1. You do not eat money from unit 1. Do you know how bold that is? That you're saying, I have sacrificed for the last 5 years, but this income, I can live without it. And I think when you're looking at things like financial independence, the true test is not when you're learning financial independence or when you start experiencing or when you start saving. No. The real test is when the returns start to get back. that you're able to say, I have lived these last years without this amount, which is the return on investment you're looking at. So maybe you're getting 30K, 20K, whatever amount you're getting, but you're saying that I've lived the last 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years paying for this particular unit. So meaning you sacrifice something from wherever cash flow you're getting from, and you have lived without the returns that we have promised at the end, that in the next 2 years, that once we finished a project, you start earning return. But that promise, you to rent, whether it was 20, it was 30, it was 40, it was 50K, you were not living with it the last 2, 3 years that you're paying for this unit. And therefore, you start earning rent, and instead of taking this rent towards your needs, wants, desires, you actually take it back to the investment and say, continuously multiplying your units or whichever investment channel that you've taken. And I think that is a different level of sacrifice, that you're saying that, yes, I know whatever I'm doing today, this one thing will give me a compounding interest over the years. However, because I want to accelerate that return on investment for myself, if I start earning today and my lifestyle has not changed for the last couple of years, I will be able to use this rent and take it back into the investment. Now, as I had said from the beginning, it's very tempting to be very excited and forget the very little things that enable us become financially independent. That you start a journey and you're like, because I've started sacrificing 20,000, I'm okay. But could there be a window where you could actually limit your life, yani ile tu kabisa, until you're in a position where you're saying 80% of your income actually goes back to working for you? And that now, without hesitation, will actually get you to become financially independent. So I think the journey of financial independence is very, very difficult. And I think the previous episode we talked about accountability. And if you've not found a mechanism to hold yourself and the people around you accountable for where the money goes, you will lose sight. Because it's quite unfortunate that you can imagine you've started a journey of sacrifice that allows you to start investing, and when you start earning, you do not have accountability of where your money goes. And I think one of the greatest lessons that I learned, luckily earlier on in life, because now when I started TSAVO, was that I've started let me use myself as an example. So I've started working. My first month, I was paid I'm laughing because so my first month I was paid 10,000. I lived, I paid rent, all those things, sindio. And then now it moved to 15K. And when it moved to 15K, all of a sudden life was so difficult. Like that 10,000, that month I was paid 10,000, I still paid rent, I still required transport, and of course now when you have 10 Gs, you live with 10 Gs. So you find transports that are quite affordable. And when my money moved to 15K, it became extremely difficult. And I remember when I started my journey, I used to save. So there was a time I had saved up to 19,000. And I felt so desperate because there are things that I would go to the supermarket, mark you, this is not a need, it is desire. So I would go to the supermarket, I want to buy certain things, but I'm like, this money that I've saved, why would I want to take it this way? Is there a better way to use this money? Then one day I just lost track and went and spent all that 19,000 that I had saved. Then we started the journey again, zero. And so if you do not have a way to track, yes, you've started investing, but are you able to track any income that is coming, whether it is coming through the investment, whether it's an increment in salary, whatever it is that you're saying, do not celebrate too much just because you've started the investment journey. But are you able to account for everything? And the hardest thing to account for is the return on investment, because in nature, as a human being, you feel like you sacrificed, therefore you are entitled to enjoy the return on investment the way you desire. But the problem with that is we never see how fast this thing catches up, because life happens. Maybe you stop working somewhere, or your income that you're relying on disappears. Do you have capacity to continue reinvesting the money that you are earning, or does it mean that your investment journey now then stops? Because if your investment journey is purely plugged on your active source of income, it can actually disappear. nobody has a job forever. Even the people who run businesses, it gets to a point where the business is not businessing. And so how do you design this? Yes, we have the end goal. We want to become financially independent. We want to earn from the return on investment. So we want to have very good returns. We want to earn from compounding interest. We want to earn from capital gains. But that's too far. Are you able to build the discipline now that even when you get to that point of compounding interest and capital gains, it no longer does not matter, because it is no longer your active income that is going towards building your portfolio of investments, but actually your return on investment that is building that portfolio. So I hope this is very helpful. This is going to last for a very long time, so you're going to see me on your screens for a very long time. Please share with a friend, learn something, pick something and run with it and try and see if it works for you. That's all, and thank you so much.